If you've been slicing the ball off the tee with driver, or maybe even pulling your ball straight left, you've came to the right place. Today's video is going to be about one of the most common mistakes that I see golfers make in lessons, and that is what the right shoulder does. So I see a lot of golfers who are slicers, who are maybe pulling the ball, moving the right shoulder forward as they start their downswing. Yes, this might be an effort to try and close the face, but there's a better way to do it. So what are we trying to achieve with our driver? We're trying to achieve a pretty neutral path. So what we don't want to do in the golf swing, if we start trying to close the face with the right side and everything right side starts to move forward, we're going to lose strike, we're going to lose distance, because we're going to start swinging across the ball with a face that's open. And what that does is that increases spin rate and massively decreases ball speed, and we don't want to do that. We want to increase the ball speed. So one of the most important moves with our driver, once we've got set up, you can check other videos on the channel around setup, but when we get up to the top, and say we've got to the top in a pretty good position, we've coiled well, the hands are deep, so this club is in line with the right ankle. So say we've got up to a pretty good position, and actually I see a lot of golfers come in with a pretty decent backswing. But what we don't want to do from that place, we don't want to start closing the face by moving this right shoulder forward. If this right shoulder moves forward, this right arm starts to move into what's called internal rotation. And yes, it might close the face. If you hit pull shots, that could be a potential reason why also. But it steepens the shaft, it steepens the club, it moves the club head in front of the hands, and that is going to start getting you in a little bit of trouble with driver. It's also going to make it much harder to hit up on the ball. It's going to make it much harder to be in a good impact position where the top half is behind the golf ball. So there's lots of things that can start to get a little bit messed up if you start to fire that right side forward towards the golf ball. So if we watch this video for a minute, you will see Rory McIlroy do a few things really well. One of the best drivers of the golf ball ever, arguably, and what he does really well is as he starts his downswing, the head stays very much behind the golf ball, and you can see that very clear in this video, but also the right shoulder starts to move down. That's what we want to start to feel with a driver. We want to feel like we keep the head back and the right shoulder down. If we do that from down the line, we want to go head back, right shoulder down. And what that's going to start to do is that's going to keep the club head behind the hands for a little bit longer. So that's a really good thing. That's going to get that shaft of the golf club starting to shallow. But more importantly, back to impact, when we hit the golf ball, we want the upper body tilted behind the ball. So we can start to create an upward angle of attack, launch it high, reduce the spin, increase ball speed, hit the ball further. So this right shoulder is absolutely crucial. And what I would start to do is start to make some practice swings. We're also going to have to do one more piece, so stick around for the next part, because it can start to open the face, or it certainly wouldn't close the face. So we're going to have to do another piece in a minute. But what we want to try and do is swing back, right shoulder down, head behind the golf ball. So we're going to move into right side bend. And what that basically means is your upper body is going to move this way a little bit more. So head back, right shoulder down, not head forward, shoulder forward. That's going to get that club in a place that's difficult to hit good shots. So we're going to try those things at the transition into the downswing and release the club, which is the next part we're going to talk about. So we got the start line just slightly right of target, and we've seen the ball start to draw. So that's a really fundamental part of being good off the tee. What we need to make sure we do though is check your club face. So if you've got a face that up at the top sits with the toe down, like this, we're going to have to make it stronger. That could be through a stronger grip, that could be through a flatter left wrist. That is a potential that we might need to do. If not, if that club face sits at a sort of 45-degree angle and it's pretty square, then the matching move to this, if the right shoulder's down and the head is back, we just need a good release. We need an element of forearm and wrist rotation, which is going to start to close the face. Because your old move moving forward closed the face, We're now shallow in the golf club, so we need to put a club face closing move in there. And that can either be through having a flatter left wrist as you swing down, or through a slightly different release where you have a bit more forearm and wrist rotation. Whichever one, you're going to need it. If you do that piece on its own, you probably start hitting the ball a lot better really quickly, but there is a chance that you just hit blocks straight to the right. So you need those two pieces in there. So right shoulder down, head behind the golf ball, release the club. Rotation, we're going to twist the forearms and the wrists slightly. Ball tells you everything. If it curves to the right, you need to do that more. So that's when this drill kicks in. This is going to get you the feel. So with your left hand, place your left hand on the golf club. That's going to keep your shoulders relatively closed. They're not going to spin because your hand's on that golf club. And what we want to do is move the right shoulder down, head staying back, and release that right forearm. So from this angle, we've got the club in front, the right shoulder moves down, the upper body stays back, so the head and the chest, and the forearm starts to release. That's how we're going to get high launching, low spinning drives, where you release the club well, where you close the face, where you come from the inside and you don't hit big giant slices. This is your way to do it. So get that feeling there. So shoulder down, release that forearm. Let it rotate, let it close. And once you've started to get the feel for those, we're going to try and put that into practice. Those are the main feelings. Copy that Rory McIlroy video. All of those things are really easy to see from that above view video. And it's definitely going to help you get high launch, close the face, get rid of that slice, and start driving better. So give those a try. Comment down below the videos that you would like to see next on the channel. Which golf tips are going to help you? Please do comment down below. If you'd like any extra help with your golf, check out the description link below. There's a Skillest link there where you can get a free golf lesson with me. You'll see that here on the screen. Just send me some videos on that link and I will get you some tips to help you with your golf. So 3 keys: shoulder down, head back, release, and drive better.